Let me tell you about 3 common mistakes that people make when they have sciatica and how they're easily fixed to help you on the road to recovery. So the first mistake that people can make is they're not willing to take medication. People are often afraid that if they take medications, they might mask the symptoms to the extent that they're damaging themselves. But because of the high severity of symptoms when it comes to sciatica, actually that's unlikely to happen, and it will always tell you if you're going to do something which is going to make it worse. Now, this particularly relates to people with severe symptoms, where you are really struggling to move at all because of the levels of pain. That will increase the tension and the spasm in the area. It will increase that to an extent that will actually increase your pain. So one of the things that taking some medications for a short term can do is actually reduce the level of spasm that you have and allow you to move a little bit better. And that means you're able then to progress and actually reduce some of your symptoms. If your pain levels are, say, a 9 or 8 out of 10, with 10 being the worst pain, the medication that you're given by your doctor may only take it down to a 5 or 6, but that can be enough to help you to be a bit more comfortable, to be able to move around a little bit, to do exercises and other activities which can actually help you get out of this situation that you are in. So the second thing that people often make a mistake with when it comes to sciatic recovery is a lack of behavioural modification. So they say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting a different outcome. Well, the same thing can be true of you and your behaviours related to sciatica. You see, our behaviours and the way we sit and the way we move and repetitive activities are often the thing that led to the sciatica in the first place. And so what we need to do is we need to modify those things. If we're used to doing lots of heavy lifting repetitively, then that can often be a cause of strain in the back, and sciatic symptoms can result from that. So if we are expecting to get better whilst continuing to do that activity, we're probably asking a bit much, even if we have the best quality exercises or medication to go along with it. So as far as is possible, you need to reduce those activities. How do you identify those activities? Well, it's very simple, really. The activities that clearly make a difference to your leg symptoms, i.e. they make those leg symptoms worse, are the ones you need to be careful of. So if you are finding that you are sitting for long periods of the day and that is correlating with an increase in your leg symptoms, you need to try and change that in some way. It's very simple. You could just get up, for example, and set an alarm on your phone so that you get up every 20 minutes, half an hour at the maximum. So if you are able to do that, you can create system breaks that actually reduce the load on your spine, reduce the load on those muscles, let the nerve reduce down in terms of sensitivity. And that in itself can be a real game changer when it comes to improving your symptoms. You're taking away the aggravation factors. Now, in terms of sciatica, we can have factors that increase our likelihood of suffering problems and can cause strain on the area. All these inputs can play a part in prolonging our sciatica as well as causing it in the first place. Now, what if we were to take those negative inputs and start to change things? Start to take them away so that we actually gave our body a chance to heal. This would give us a much more likely positive progression in terms of recovery. Now, the third mistake that I think people make when it comes to sciatic symptoms is they fall into the trap of a stretching and sometimes called flossing activity. Now, this is a common thing that you will see on the internet, recommended on numerous YouTube videos, but it has its place, but very much at the end stage of recovery. If you do flossing or stretching of your nerve too soon and your nerve is still irritated, and particularly if it's restricted in its mobility, then that will increase your symptoms. Now, when I say restricted, the nerve is like a piece of string that runs from your back, from your spinal cord, down through your leg, all the way down to your foot. Now, a nice, healthy nerve system allows fluidity, so that if we bend forwards and move in different ways, there is give in the system so the nerve has room to move. If you have irritation for any reason, it could be muscular, it could be skeletal or disc, causes a restriction on the nerve, and so therefore it's like pulling against a restriction when you are stretching the nerve or flossing the nerve. I don't think it's a good idea, especially, as I say, in the early to moderate stages of sciatic recovery. Now, I reckon that you're better off staying clear of this and improving the mobility around your lower back and pelvis and generally strengthening things up way before you get to the stage of stretching or flossing your nerve. So those three factors are really important in terms of reducing your symptoms. I hope that was useful to you. And perhaps you'd like to ask a question about your sciatica, in which case pop it in the comments below and I might do a video on one or two of those questions if they are useful to other people. Now, in addition to these three changes that you're going to make, perhaps you'd like to do some exercises, in which case you might want to check out this video as well.